Guten Morgen. Guten Tagen. I said that yesterday. Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen. Guten Tagen. That's good afternoon, right? Good day or whatever. Anyway, why am I scum? Asks Cloud Pops. What's up, Mike? Or hyphen Mike hyphen? Everblazer. Hey, sup? Appreciate the tips and the tips, monetary tips and informational tips and questions. Nice to see you guys. It's Wednesday. It's 9:01 now, a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time here in Los Angeles. And it's the 23rd of July. Happy White History Month. Do you know who this beautiful gal is on my shirt? She's a white history heroine, not the drug, the female hero in. Spelled differently, too. There's like an extra E in there or something. AD 2025. And thank you, Pastor Chatelet, rating the stream. I hope that did I set the redirect for, did you guys get redirected? Let me check. YouTube.com/, what's done is done. JLP stream is done. Hake's show is started. And yes, Jesse Lee Peterson sent his viewers to Hake. Nice. So we're going to have a fun loosey-goosey, the Hake report. Okay, and I will be taking your calls. The views expressed, as you heard Doug tell you on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, same applies to the Hake report. The views exactly the same, actually. I just say it because I like to say it. It has more life to it if I do it. If I do it live, forget it. Shout out. Because the views expressed on Hake don't represent Hake. I don't even represent myself, much less do the callers. You kidding me? Or viewers, or the snake pit, the scum of the earth, whom I love, if I love anybody. I heard Angel Reese has better shirts. She had a McDonald's cup for a while. She was on the McDonald's cup. Angel Reese, mildly attractive. Just not her attitude sometimes. But hey, she's young. Caitlin Clark is a WNBA player. I don't even agree with women's sports. Although I do appreciate an athletic woman, okay? I value you as a person. And it's cool to be able to play catch, I guess. It's kind of like playing catch with a kid. Or sometimes, whatever. Not going to get into that. So anyway, whatever. Much of the time, take everything you hear on Hake with a grain of salt. Much of the time, I'm kidding around. And I get that I'm white, and plus, I'm maybe not the best communicator. So I may joke too much, and I may say stuff that I don't necessarily mean, especially not like that. Because you guys infer or pretend like what I'm saying implies stuff that it does not even imply. Imply means that it necessarily means that. It's not said, but it's implied, meaning that it necessarily means that. But it doesn't necessarily mean what you think that it means. People. Am I right? It's like you guys pretend like the Bible implies stuff that it never implies. So same thing with Hake. Take everything that you hear with a grain of salt. It's not that serious anyway. There's people who like stopped listening to JLP because they disagreed with him, that they're just being nosy on the Epstein thing. Oh, now I have to unfollow you or unsubscribe. Oh, I'm so sad about it. Ridiculous. You can't even do it. Neither you nor JLP can do anything about the Epstein situation. So what does it even matter? It doesn't. You're just caught up. FYI. But I disclaim that. Because I'm disclaiming everything right now. Yeah, so again, part of being white is having like maybe dry humor, or maybe it's Scottish. I heard Scottish people are annoying from a Scotsman who called in, and I'm sometimes annoying, and so uh, you know, chill out. And I call everything communist, and in a sense, it is. A lot of stuff that I call communist is, but it's not meant to defame or them or whatever. Like I called Joe from Phoenix communist, Commie Joe, whom I banned, lovingly banned. I remember him for White History Month and every day. We love Joe. We just keep him at arm's length right now. Straight arm, stiff arm. Joe for the time being, and maybe forever. Hake thinks white means autistic. No, I mean, a lot of times whites have this dry humor and people don't get it. Or people are find it very good sometimes, but sometimes they don't realize that you're joking. People will... JLP joked with somebody just this morning, and the person didn't realize that he was joking. Nice. So this stuff happens. So don't take these words so seriously. Spare us your lawsuits, you litigious people, right? Anyway, what are we going to talk about today? We will, actually quite a bit of news is going on. Callers, you are filling up the lines, and I appreciate it. I will get to you. You are seen. And super chatters, thank you, Carver and others for the support. As always, of course. You know, Lord, I don't like this. Because I want to dive into stories right away. And I think I'll just do that. Is that okay with you? Let me make sure. Yes, it's there. Let me do that, and then we'll get to we'll do something slightly different, okay? We will get to stories, and then we'll get to the intro, and then we'll get to calls. Is that okay with you? At least, and I'll try to do it quickly. We'll see what happens. Oh, actually, let me go away from that. If we mosey on over to the HakeReport.com, then we can find the Hake Report post for today and read a little bit of the news, shall we? Let's read a little bit of the news after we've done our disclaimer and our due diligence on those things, and I've successfully bashed the snake pit in the audience, because scum of the earth. The Kennedy Center is getting overhauled by our greatest president, Trump, and I like it. The Kennedy Center has to do with art or something like that. Okay? Art. And so, nice. Trump loves art. He used to attend Elton John concerts, I believe. He loved, he named one of the great leaders of our time, Little Rocket Man, he called him. Now he doesn't call him that because it sounds potentially disrespectful, but Little Rocket Man, I think, is a nod to Rocket Man. Elton John, who's, his personal issues aside, is an artist, a great artist. So Trump appreciates great art. Pop songs. So Kennedy Center is art, right? It's performance arts and whatever, but anyway. Anyway, the lawmakers are trying to get their security funding. That's interesting. Security for me and not for thee. But I don't blame them, honestly. It's crazy because they're a bigger target. The more self-destructive a country is, should I agree with this legal terms and privacy? This is their disclaimer. The views expressed on CNN do not represent CNN. Is that what this says? I'll just hit agree. I already agreed. So, reshaping the Kennedy Center. Let me just make sure that that's what that is. By the newly constituted board. Yeah, I think it's art. Whatever, I don't care. These lawmakers, the House, this is the federal lawmakers, okay? They're increasing their funding to protect themselves when state lawmakers got assassinated or attempted assassinations and full and successful assassinations by that murderer in Minnesota, of all places. Terrible. So they're getting funding. They get like $20,000. Wait, how much is this? $20,000 annually to increase security on their homes. And they also got, okay, I don't know, $5,000 a month for personal security. Wow. And some of them are flying under the radar. They don't, oh, Lord. Okay. They don't need personal security. It's the people who are making a big splash in everybody's face, these females and males. You notice the big showy people? They're not necessarily, even showy for quote unquote good. They're just show, potentially. And then they're just attracting more stuff, so they're just costing us $5,000 a month for personal security through the end of the year, and $20,000 to beef up the security of their homes. And maybe that's a one-time thing. Huh? Capitol Police investigated 9,000 threats in more than that in 2024. An 83% increase from the previous year. And that is a result, like I mentioned in Hake News, of the increase and encouragement to anger and to smearing. Now, Trump calls people things, but he's right, and he's not, and he's doing it with love. Now, some Trump supporters are hateful people. It's kind of like Nick Fuentes. He loves everybody. He's Christian. But some of his supporters, or his supposed supporters, I don't even know if they're actually even supporters, are nasty to people on the internet only. Like, so it doesn't really do anything. And then there's haters of him, anti-supporters of him, who want to show up to his house and hurt him with guns to the point where he dies. You know, kill him. So, crazy. And they've encouraged that kind of hatred. And they support, oh, punch Nazis. Or even worse than that, to Nazis. It's ridiculous. They being these liberals who uphold anger as a good thing. And protest is anger, as a good thing. Terrible. Trump, too. A couple of people tried to assassinate him, or maybe more than that. And killed other people. They've encouraged this stuff. They've encouraged the blacks to be angry, the whites to be angry, the women to be angry, the gays to be angry, the illegals to be angry. Like, they have a basis to be angry. Like, nobody has a right to be angry, but the illegals especially don't have a right to be angry. They should, as Obama said, they should be thanking us. But they shouldn't. It's kind of like spoiling. A mother should not be thanked for spoiling spoiled children. So America should not be thanked for spoiling the lawbreakers. So FYI. Art and security. And so what about us? We need security too. We need more cops now because, and then the cops are violating. So it's a huge mess. It's a spiritual solution that we need. Yeah, we need some practical solutions like more cops. More cops is safer for the, last quick point. More cops is safer for the suspect. Because the suspect is going to try a little bit less because he's met with an overwhelming show of force. He's like, okay, basically, for the most part. And also, as a Jewish proverb I once heard, and I have not forgotten it, many hands make light work. You know, these suspects can be squirrely, and squirrely people are hard to manage. They can make themselves heavy and stuff like that. And so many hands make light work. It takes 6 people to carry a body, I heard, in funerals and things. Just FYI. You know, I'm getting bored already, so let me show you an example of this. Nazi talk. Hasan, Piker. I have a picture with him. Woke Bay, he was called. Back when he was on the JLP show, he was known as Woke Bay. I'd never heard of him. Hasan the Hun. He's Turkish or something? Cousin or nephew of Cenk Uygur, a far-left extremist, liberal, democratic, socialist sympathizer type of a guy, right? The Young Turks, JLP has been on their show. Cenk Uygur has been on the JLP show. Well, Hasan is like, we've officially gotten, who's kind of communist, sort of, really. We've officially gotten to the point where Fox News commentators are comfortably calling themselves Nazis. Commies, scaremongering, or you can say fearmongering, but scaremongering works, about Nazis. Nazis? Nazis are not even smiled upon even on this show. Like there's a caller who likes American Nazis, right? And everybody likes him because he speaks his mind, but they don't necessarily agree with him, and he's sort of shunned because he's so angry. And then there's like normie angry conservatives, and then there's normie non-angry conservatives. A handful. And they're called Nazis. Give me a break. So here's this guy named Greg Gutfeld who's on Fox News. I heard that he's on top of the late night ratings chart thing because we got rid of Steve Colbert. Because Stephen Colbert, who's a late night host, is no longer funny or something, and no longer making money, and he's a lame liberal. Basically, he's turned into a girl in his older age. So watch out that you do not turn into a girl in your older age. It can happen. I guess it's low T or something. Greg Gutfeld says this. Let's see if I can make sure it's not too loud. We'll see what happens. Oh, no, not that again. Hold on. Let me see if... Anchor Baby, I may need your help. I don't know if Anchor Baby's here. Let me see if there's audio coming through. Oh, hold on. No, yeah, is Anchor Baby there? Was that Derek? Here, let me just double check the audio. Okay. Yeah, just my audio settings appear not to be working, which has happened before. And I forget what it was. So let me keep that at a quiet sound, and then I'll get to your calls, guys. I can't even do the show intro. It's a good thing I didn't even try to do the show intro. You know what I mean? And so we'll play this in the background. Oh, no. There we go. Yeah, the Anchor Baby, the show's whatever. What's that?
It's doing it again?
Yeah.
I gotta do this.
Okay. I'll leave the audio on, right? That way we know?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Nice. Nice. No problem. Okay, in the meantime, let me get to a call or two, fellas. William the Third in California is on the line over here. William.
Hey,
Hey.
James, I'm sorry I didn't wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, I didn't even notice, man. No worries.
Yes, happy belated birthday to you.
Appreciate it.
Excuse me. Elton John. I don't know. I mean, we brought him up for what? I mean, we've actually accepted Elton John in the early '70s for what he, represented.
That's true.
And we always liked him. I don't know if you ever been to an Elton John show.
I haven't, but everybody appreciates that he writes great music.
He does.
Just because he's not morally straight and the other thing.
Yeah.
We disclaim and disavow that, but whatever.
He puts on a good show.
Indeed.
I've seen him as a teenager. He was good, man. He was very popular amongst everybody. I'll never forget that show at the Hollywood Bowl when he came out with that song, Benny and the Jets. He was a trendsetter. It was very catchy. And it was I think it was a #1 hit. I don't know, but it was right there on the R&B charts and rock and pop. And Elton John, I don't know why he was brought up other than I can tell you something about his lifestyle on Elton John. Elton John is one of the older type gays. It's not running around. No, listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
There's two different groups with that thing.
Totally.
You have the gay people that are not
Maybe
saucy
three.
and sassy. And they're not saucy and sassy and go overboard with the flamboyantness. He's one of those.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
He's always been that way. And I think he gets more respect for that.
Right. Yep.
Because nobody really cares what you do.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
I wanted to do my White History Month contribution, if it's okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be for the ladies today, brother, because I don't just throw out these names. I do a little research on them at night.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and start off with Mamie Eisenhower, the beautiful Mamie Eisenhower.
Mamie Eisenhower. Former First Lady of the United States, wife of Ike. Dwight. Nice.
Yeah. It's a beautiful story. Very honorable woman, classy. Dwight remembered meeting her, and when he finished his education at West Point, he gave her his graduation ring as an engagement ring until he got a chance to buy a wedding set for her. And she died. I think maybe I probably died in 1979 or something like that. Always classy. Always classy.
She outlived, did she outlive Ike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The second woman I'm going to bring up is the beautiful Lana Turner.
Lana Turner? Lana?
Lana Turner. Yeah, Lana Turner.
Okay.
American actress.
Nice.
Several nominations. She's most known for the movie. Actually, it was her most famous movie. It was the first Technicolor movie for her. Was The Three Musketeers.
Okay.
And Lana Turner, beautiful woman. She generated a lot of money for Hollywood, and she had a 19-year contract.
Wow, she's pretty.
With MGM MGM Pictures. Lana Turner, very beautiful woman.
Her
salary was about between $5,000 and $7,000 a week, and back in those days is equivalent to $70,000 a week today.
That's interesting, man.
So she was a big time name.
Right
and
on.
The third woman. While you're showing everybody Lana Turner, the third woman, I'm going to go ahead.
I can't show anything at this time.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We're going to go with Elizabeth Montgomery, the beautiful Elizabeth Montgomery.
I haven't heard any of these white names in like forever.
Her most famous role was Bewitched.
Oh, I've heard of that.
I think she's the daughter of producer, I think it's Bob Montgomery, but Elizabeth Montgomery, always classy. Always. The beautiful Elizabeth Montgomery.
Nice. And what was she again?
She was an actress.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you said Bewitched.
Yeah, you remember that the TV series Bewitched, but she did a lot of other things before that and after. Oh, yeah. Beautiful woman. If you got a picture of her, it's beautiful.
Let me see, because I looked up Lana Turner, Elizabeth Montgomery. Personally, I'm looking them up. Wow, yeah, she's striking. She looks like a gal I went to college with, actually. Nice.
Beautiful woman. Yep. Beautiful woman.
All these ladies died in the 70s for Mamie, but Lana and Elizabeth, they both died in 1995.
Yeah.
Wow.
But classy women.
Yeah.
They were not just stars. They were known for their class and humbleness. They were beautiful women.
Yeah.
You know, beauty doesn't really. Beauty on the outside is okay, but it's that inner beauty that makes you even better looking on the outside.
Yeah, totally. A good attitude. Beauty that fades when you open your mouth is no, not yet. Is a shame. It's a shame when a pretty woman or any woman opens her mouth and just destroys destroys any attraction.
I went into this several weeks ago.
Nice. Sorry about
talks too much and combatant against men.
Thank you, Anchor Baby.
Maybe.
Sweet. Yeah, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. It's just that Anchor Baby was fixing my audio.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you might be right on that. Women that tend to be combative towards men, talk a lot. The woman's beauty, her best attribute is going to be her silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's part of the man's strength too.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying be mute. That people take your words and just go all.
No,
the way
yeah, totally. It's like
I'm not saying be mute. I'm just saying a lady, her best quality is her silence and not so fast to have an opinion.
Yeah. Totally, man.
That's what you call a lady. You got a woman, then you got a lady.
And interestingly, that's a man's strength as well, is his ability
to
be silent.
Right.
And not be quick, because then he's kind of being a woman if he's like pushing his opinions all the time.
Right. Well, I do have some news, but I just wanted to say that's my contribution to White History Month, and which, by the way, has been a very successful White History Month. Lots of people calling in with contributions.
Yeah,
and
totally.
It's greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. And it's been a hit. I have to say, it's been a hit. But
yeah.
Is our White History Month being boycotted or something? Haven't heard from a lot of your black callers.
You know what? A couple of people reminded me, Gregatron and Big Bump both reminded me that beautiful Maze, you love Maze, right? I love Maze, if we love anybody.
Right.
I think that she refuses to call. Normally she does celebrate birthdays. So she will probably call me during Men's History Month to wish me a belated happy birthday.
What if they did that for Black History? What if everybody did that for Black History Month? I mean, remember I said yesterday, if white people really pushed their history, they'd have every month.
I know. Yeah, true.
I think that's the truth, really, man. I mean, they don't even push their history. They just, I'm just okay. I did it. That's what they do. They take that kind of attitude. But I think your black callers might be boycotting your show.
Some of them might be.
yeah, because I haven't heard from a lot of. It's not just her, but I mean, there's been a lot of them haven't called. You know,
that's a fact.
It's kind of funny. I don't know.
Well, you know, I don't know about you, but I really find Stephen from Maryland fun to talk to, and he's been calling. And he's been doing, like you and I pointed
yeah.
out, sort of nasty
Oh
contributions
yeah,
to White
definitely.
History Month. But
Yeah,
still,
he's a scrote though. But yeah,
right?
he has called. You know, he is definitely a scrote. But and I don't even listen to the Nazi stuff and Nazi woman. If you've ever been to Germany, I've been there twice. I'm telling you something. They do not talk about Nazi.
Right.
That is something that is not discussed over there.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to meet an actual Nazi because he would be 120 years old. Think about it. A kid that was a kid during the Nazi era is not necessarily a Nazi. And it's against the law for you even talk about. That's a taboo thing in Germany. They do not talk about that. You will get a knock on your door. You could get arrested.
Yeah.
In Germany.
Totally.
So
I know, and
like we talk about
that's a shame itself, but that's
we talk about it more over here than they do. They don't talk about that over there.
Yeah.
If you met one that was actually there and active, you probably wouldn't tell you.
True.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm going to go ahead and bring up something. I'm thinking that the blacks, who doesn't love the blacks, but I'm thinking that the blacks are wishing and hoping this young man in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, is going to be their next George Floyd or Martin Luther King. I don't know what they're trying to insinuate, but this whole situation is blown out of proportion. But I'm going to point a few things out to you.
You're talking about the incident in which the guy got punched in the face.
Right. That's basically black fatigue.
At a traffic stop.
Yeah, there were black officers there, so that's just crazy. It's black fatigue.
Yeah.
The punches, the frustration of every time they stop them. Have you noticed that they are always saying, I want a supervisor?
Might be.
So I looked into the supervisor situation.
Right.
And it says in the state of Florida and most of the lower 48, if you sit in your car uncompliant with an officer and request a supervisor, it is at the officer's discretion to even think about doing so. Or if even the officer that he's requesting, which is the supervisor, if the supervisor is even available. So therefore, it goes back to the officer's discretion on what the situation is on the street in real time.
Yeah.
So saying that I want a supervisor does not mean that you are to be non-compliant and not roll windows down, not get out of the car.
Yeah.
That doesn't fly. But somebody told them, probably Black Lives Matter, somebody who are basically a bunch of gay women, basically are telling these young people these things, and they're not really true.
Yeah.
Coming back to why he was stopped. If you have a late model car, which I tried it last night in front of the house and pulled it out the garage and got the water hose. If you have a late model car, I'm going to point something out to you that they're not thinking about. You have a late model car, you have functions on that little arm that says wiper. Have you noticed it says auto and manual?
Right.
I took a water hose and sprayed it on the windshield. The wipers came on.
Whoa. Nice.
I walked around to the side of the car. I walked in front of the car. The most late model cars, if it gets a drip on the windshield or feels any fog or anything, the wipers automatically come on. And guess what else comes on? The headlight.
That's nice.
Now, for your headlights not to be on in that kind of weather, you must have switched that switch to manual.
Some people, they don't come on automatically.
Depending on what year it is.
Yeah. So
and he looked like he was in a late model car, so I'm kind of not falling for this. The other thing is that he had a camera facing the driver.
Yeah, that was his phone, I think.
So, yeah. So, you mean to tell me, because look when they busted the window, how calm he was. It's like almost like, okay, I'm going to get my lawsuit.
Yeah. He was
I'm
looking
not
for
falling
trouble
for this.
by that point.
You're looking for trouble, yes.
Yeah.
You busted the glass and he stayed calm, put his hands up.
He was performing for the camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you gonna just reach out and get yourself in a situation to antagonize these officers while they're on duty, stopping all these nutcases every day, and not get out the car.
I appreciate it, William. I have to keep it moving. It's good hearing from you. Happy White History Month to you.
Is that Happy White History Month? Is that something to look at? I think so.
It's pretty clear. That's clarity, man. Take care.
Rosa Parks moment.
Indeed.
Take
All right,
care.
man. Guys. Anyway, guys, I think. Let me make sure. Yes. Pretty sure. Let's just get right on. Right? With the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh,
What a mess.
it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? Do you like this beautiful flower? I know I like it. I know I do. We're having fun here. And yes, do you want to hear about the Nazis? Nazi this, Nazi that. I do not see hardly any Nazis, and they're not even doing anything, the ones who are. Let me prove it to you. Hold on. Complicated business. The world. And then I'll get back to your calls, and we'll get to your super chats, and it's been a mess. And thank you kindly, very kindly, to American Anchor Baby coming through. Clutch. Happy White History Month. He's white Hispanic, so it counts. And also, I claimed Bill Cosby and his show for white history, too, because he's white on the inside. And, you know, shout out. So, oh, yeah, we were talking about Hasan Piker being all Hasan Piker on Nazis. So let's see here. See if this works.
It doesn't matter.
Nice, nice. Here, let me crank it. Zoom in. Here is Greg Gutfeld on Fox News.
When you call us Nazis.
Faux news. Hold on, Greg Gutfeld.
That.
I didn't mean for you to go just because my boomer. Here.
This is why the criticism doesn't matter to us. When you call us Nazis, Nazi this, Nazi that, you know, I'm beginning to think they don't like us. You know what? I've said this before. We need to learn from the blacks. The way they were able to remove the power from the N-word by using it. So
that's not what happened, buddy. That's not what happened.
It doesn't matter to us.
They didn't remove the power from the N-word by using it because they didn't remove any power. They pretend that it still has power because they try to wield it against us and make us like we're bad for saying the N-word. Not that I say it necessarily that much. I stopped. So you claim they removed the power, but here it is.
Nazi that, you know, I'm beginning to think they don't like us. You know what? I've said this before. We need to learn from the blacks. The way they were able to remove the power from the N-word by using it. So from now on, it's, what up, my Nazi? Hey, what up, my Nazi? Oh my God. Hey, what's hanging, my Nazi?
Nazi, please.
Isn't that cute?
Thank God you did a hard eye there. God. What does it tell you, though?
So, I think who's tried to stop him? I think he tried to stop him because he's part black and he's liberal. This guy is part black, believe it or not, even though he's lighter skinned than the Italian over there. Remember that Italian? That's Jesse Waters, my competitor. And then there's that woman who was, I heard she was a George W. Bush press secretary woman. I don't remember it. And then that gal is that cute gal from MTV or something. She's funny. even though she's a woman. Nice, huh? Democrats smear ICE with Nazi comparisons and Trump and all that stuff. And so Hasan, the Piker, is like, we've officially, because if it happened on Fox News, it's official. We've gotten to the point where Fox News commentators are comfortable calling themselves Nazis. And Patriot Takes, a far-left extremist poster on X. Gutfeld, you know what? I've said this before, blah, 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 blah. And Kennedy is the gal's name. Her last name, I think. Or maybe first name. Is it last name or first name? Pretty sure it's a last name. Kennedy, Fox News gal. What in the world? What? Is that her? Yeah, it is. Oh, she's known as Kennedy. Yeah, Lisa Kennedy Montgomery. Oh. Okay, so that's her middle name. Known mononymously. It's kind of like Tucker. Oh, yeah, it's Tucker Carlson, but he goes by Tucker, right? Because you pretty much know who you're talking about when you talk about Tucker. It's like Obama. He's just known as Obama. And Michelle is Michelle. It's like that, Kennedy. Oh, okay, so I didn't know that. 52 years old. She went to Santa Monica College. That's across the street from a pizza place that I used to like. Whatever. Oh, she divorced her husband after 17-ish years. 2 children. Yeah, she was a VJ, video jockey on MTV in the early 90s. Nice. So, and she's like, Nazi, please. Isn't that cute? Funny? Amusing? I don't think that she called herself that, though. So, calm down with your stuff. Oh, by the way, these guys are commies. And they're Nazi commies, I call them. Because what does Nazi mean but overly strict? And they're being overly strict with their communism. And also they're, I guess you can't call them hypocrites because they're just flat outright evil. But they are pretenders, which is kind of a hypocrite. So, you're a woman, but he has a nice, look at this profile pic. Here we have a wealthy socialist being pampered while he claims to speak for the downtrodden. He's showing it on his thing. And then look at this. He looks like he wants to be the next Che Guevara or something like that. And then when he gets caught, he does a disclaimer. He says, what I say, I'm just a dummy or an idiot with a mic. Because he was caught lying or something like that. Nice hair, by the way. Is he white? Is he considered white? He disclaims or disavows the whites. But he's kind of white. Except that he's a liar. I guess there's white liars, too. No such thing as white lies. It's all evil. But that's him. There's a picture of me with him. Watch. The Hake. If we mosey on over to the HakeReport.com, and then we'll get to your calls and stuff. But look, there's me with that guy. There's me with that guy. Yay. I'm trying not to use his slave name, although I do like his slave name. I think that he should embrace it. There's Hasan, Sandenga. There's Matan. There's that guy who's the brother of some, or yeah. There's that one guy. There's Amber Rose. She's not actually taller than me. There's the Asian rapper. And there's Hasan, Piker, with one S. Lord's Gym. Look how white I was. That was some years back. Nice. Oh, rest in peace, Scott Adams. White history. Oh, no, he's not dead. I'm confusing him again. Scott Adams, this is the second time I've said rest in peace. We talked about Scott Adams on a beautiful Coffee Talk with Sandra's show. I'm like, oh, rest in peace. But no, he's not dead, I don't think. He thought he would be dead by summer, but he's not. He has like the same cancer, according to him, that Joe Biden has, but he's doing okay. Smart guy. What a mess. And there's Anomaly. You guys like Anomaly? I like Anomaly. And there's Roseanne Barr. Oh, and there's Zerka. I disclaim Zerka. Anyway, nice, huh? Sweet. Oh, wait a minute. Let's get to William number 7 out of California on the line over here. William, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me all right?
I can. You sound great.
Oh, excellent. Hey, so I guess I was listening to something about the N-word.
Nazi. Yeah, the N-word, Nazi. or do you mean the N-word, N-word-ger?
You mean the black one or
Both.
the white one?
Yeah, they're both. They're both N-words.
So what's the brown one? What's the Mexican N-word?
I don't think there is one. There's ones that sound kind of bad, but some.
How about nacho?
Nacho. I knew a nacho. Nacho is not offensive.
Hake, I think you're. I got an N-word for you, man.
Uh-oh.
You're a normie. You're normal.
Yeah,
You're normal white. You're what Hitler strove for but couldn't do it.
Whoa, interesting.
You're right in the middle. No, I don't know. Maybe the Mexicans are. They're right in the middle. I heard the truth and the way and the life is right in the middle. Don't go to the right. Don't go to the left.
Interesting.
Perhaps. I'm not. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
So, what was the biblical question this week?
How will you know you are of truth is JLP's biblical question.
The only thing I can think of is, when you are of truth, that means your essence and not about a subject that you're talking about. So I'm assuming that when he says it that way, that if you are about it, and I would just say that you're not moved, you're not shaken, you have peace, and are willing to perhaps you may be incorrect on your first or second viewpoint or perspective on anything. And that's how you live in the moment.
Nice.
In peace.
Meaning you allow for yourself and others to be wrong.
Yeah. Otherwise, I make myself out to be God. Like what other way is there to look at it?
Nice. I like that.
And I think that applies for the physical, the spiritual, the mental, the physical, if I didn't say all four of those already.
Yeah.
But I think that principle would apply in all cases.
I think that makes sense.
Perhaps. Yeah, I do too. Man, awesome. Amazing.
Cool. Thanks for your contribution to Jesse's biblical question of the week. I actually enjoyed that.
You know what? And I want you guys, I told Anchor Baby yesterday that I got a friend that I've known for a while who struggles with stuff. And I've ministered in the worldly kind of way, but I just turned him on to you. You guys in church, just JLP, he's now listening to JLP on Sundays.
Yeah.
And I've already seen a change in him. Like his countenance and his peace is unlike anything. It's unlike, I've known this guy for 10 years and something's happening. So it's pretty cool.
That's cool.
So keep up the good work, guys. You guys are a good team. And again, hopefully one day maybe I'll make it down there. But if not,
that's right. You're north of us. Well,
I was born in L.A. I was a heroin baby myself, and one day maybe I'll go down there and go to the orphanage that I stayed my first 18 months of life there.
Wow.
I don't even know what orphanage. My birth certificate doesn't even tell me what hospital I was born in.
Oh, wow.
It just says L.A.
Yeah.
And that's it. Kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Hake. Well, God bless you, my normie friend.
Thank you kindly. I appreciate that.
I'll talk to you another time, man.
And thanks for spreading the word. Take care.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Mark in Los Angeles, California. How you doing, Mark?
Very good, very good. Happy White History Month.
Happy White History Month to you.
Thank you. And I want to answer Alex from California. He had a question for me yesterday.
Oh,
but before
cool.
I get to that, my contribution to White History Month to the White Man's Hall of Fame, Nathan Bedford Forrest.
I've heard that name before.
Yeah,
Yeah, they tried to tear down his statue.
Well, the Negroes in Tennessee actually had him and his wife's remains removed from a park.
That's pretty disgusting.
So they are disgusting.
Yeah.
They are disgusting. But the reason I put Nathan Bedford Forrest into the Hall of Fame is because his clan was the one that liberated the white South from Negro rule under Reconstruction. And just for the record, today's black professors and black these black power advocates, they love the Reconstruction. To them, it was a sign of liberation.
Yeah.
When really all it was a black takeover of the South, and these feeble-minded people couldn't run it. So Nathan Bedford Forrest and other ex-Confederates liberated the South from these demons. So that's that. I had another question, too. Also, before I forget, I want to shout out to Alan from Michigan and William I think he's 3 from California. 2 good men.
Right on. Man.
Now, here's a question I have for you before I get to Alex's thing. This disclaimer that you're running, you just started doing that. Any particular reason or any particular caller that caused you guys to start saying that?
It was not any particular caller. It was something that we realized we used to play at the end of every show. It would be, at the end of radio shows, you'll hear the views expressed by the guests and callers and whatever on this show may not represent the views of this station. And so it was, we used to do that. And so that's why. It was not in response to anything that you guys have said or anything that anybody has said or there's no lawsuits or anything that I know of, right? So there's nothing like that. It's just we remembered and we reincorporated it. And it's a little bit different, but yeah.
Well, the other thing is some bozo in the chat yesterday said that the reason you're demonetized is because of my calls.
No, I was demonetized, I think, before you ever called, if I remember.
That's right.
Yeah.
But maybe you could put that out so this bozo...
Yeah, these bozos don't know what they're talking about. They just make up stuff. That's why I call them the scum of the earth, the snake pit.
They are.
Yeah.
I'm never in it.
Right
unless I'm being talked about. Also, on the issue of about Nazis, to me, and I've said this before, the definition of a Nazi is just a proud white man. That's the best.
Somebody,
no such thing.
I mean, I say not that I agree or no, but I know that's what you think, and then there's another guy in the snake pit who just said, "Oh, a Nazi is just a Christian." And
I saw that.
There's all kinds of different people who have completely different beliefs, but they want to assign bad things because they're bad people.
No, it's because the Nazis were white. And anything that's white and for our people, they're going to hate.
Yeah.
Either the Klan, the Nazis, White Citizens Council, any of these groups, they're going to hate instantaneously because they just don't like the idea of whites unifying against their demonic power.
You notice once they knock the whites who are pro-white down, they knock the whites who are for everybody down. They knock down Bill O'Reilly, Fox News, Alex Jones, anybody who's successful and white.
Well, one thing you might
and normal
know or not know,
but
during the the trials, the Nuremberg trials in the 1960s, I don't know which Nazi they had, but he said first they come for us, and then they come for the rest of the whites.
Yeah.
They get the ones who want to stop the persecution of our people. Once they get us out of the way, it's easy to take over. There's no such thing as a Nazi communist either. No, there isn't. It's a contradiction in terms.
I know, but the reason I say it is because I grew up where Nazis are bad guys and commies are bad guys, and so they were basically kind of used interchangeably. I couldn't even keep track of who was who. So
Yep.
I was just brainwashed into that sort of normie world as a Gen X millennial. And so that's why I do it. And I think it's funny. So anyway.
Okay. One other thing, then I'll get to Alex's question.
Yes.
I think you should know this. Back in 1966, when Reagan became governor out here in California, he offered George Lincoln Rockwell $100,000 not to endorse him. To not endorse him.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I heard that on an interview with Rockwell. I'm not going to name the interviewer because that would be one of your competitors. I think the guy's dead by now.
Okay.
But he had a Berkeley talk show, and Rockwell was his guest. And he wouldn't say it was Reagan, but he said a politician in California offered him $100,000 not to endorse, and he refused the money. So Rockwell was a good man. I don't care what they say.
Yeah.
Now, getting to Alex's question, what exactly was his question?
He
From
said,
California?
Yeah, he said that you were being liberal by starting to accuse me of defending pedophiles or supporting pedophiles.
I don't think I said that. I think indirectly by your non-interest in this issue, and indirectly by the fact that you don't seem too eager to see that list, if there's still one left. But because of your non-interest and you're skipping over this, it tells me that even though Mossad or the deep state didn't threaten you, I don't believe, I do believe they threatened Trump. And I think as a Trump supporter myself, I think because of your support for Trump, you're turning a blind eye to these kosher pedophiles who did molest young girls and women on that island. It seems to me, and I'm not saying you're a pedophile or that you're defending him directly, but when you attack the victims, and I heard you do it yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know who you were somebody on the phone called, and you were saying these runaways and blah, blah. Even if they're a runaway, so what? They don't deserve to be raped. Now, I don't want to get into the Epstein thing again, but
Right.
I'm just telling you, you missed it on this one. Love you, Hake, but by your ignoring the story or pretending and hoping it'll go away, just think about who you're protecting. I'm not talking about Trump. I don't believe Trump is on the list.
Right.
But there was a list put out yesterday anonymously of who was on the island, and it's people that you know. I'm not going to mention names, but it's people that we know were there. And every one of them is a liberal, are Jewish, or are Negro. There are no conservatives that I'm aware of. Maybe somebody can enlighten me, but there weren't any conservative right-wingers at that island.
Because Epstein was a Democrat donor. Yep.
It was a Democrat thing.
Yeah.
And for the record, and I know I hate to even bring this up, but because we're talking about this type of perversion, the LGBT nonsense was actually started in the 30s in Germany, under Hitler. But Hitler wiped them out immediately. He got rid of these perverts and ended that sickness in Germany. It reestablished itself here in the States some years ago. So, when some dummy calls your show, like they did, I'm not going to name names, but some dope called a couple years ago and said that all National Socialists are pedophiles, it's wrong. It's a smear because Hitler actually wiped them out. And, of course, they're reborn. Satan reborned them sometime in the 20th century in the United States. But I think the record needs to be set straight on that stuff.
Interesting.
And I guess that's about all I got. Do you think I answered Alex's question? I don't call you a pedophile defender directly, but I think maybe subconsciously, indirectly, you kind of are defending him by not wanting to see the list. I mean, don't you really want to see the list at all? You're not the least bit interested?
Not particularly. I might.
But what if it's all demons on there? Demons that we know, Hollywood celebrities, politicians, evil people that would take you off the air and would probably gas me. So these are the kind of people that you would want to protect.
But to me, this is all like in the imagination. Like it's
Why?
stuff that because we don't
Epstein's
even
a real
know.
person.
What do you?
Dead,
we don't even know what actually went on. I don't know.
We know he's a convicted pedophile. We know that the Maxwell woman was some sort of a pimp or whatever her charge was. I don't know. But they were involved in evil.
So if somebody commits statutory rape, that makes them a pedophile?
Felon. Pardon?
It makes a man who commits statutory rape, statutory, meaning underage, that makes them a pedophile? Is that what that means?
I would say if he knowingly does it, yeah. Now, I know there have been cases where the guy says, well, I don't know how old the girl was.
Right.
But that wasn't the case at Pedophile Island. You know, they knew what they were going there for. They went there to ease their perversion. And unfortunately, we may never see the list. It's a flight log, to be honest with you. It's a flight log. And all the people that went there are on that log. That's
right, but everybody who went there did not necessarily do that type of an act. We don't know that everybody who went there did stuff like that.
Well, that's true. That's why we need to see and investigate who was there and what they did.
But don't you trust the government to do that? Because the government's job is to do that.
Yeah, but with Scam Bondi, I don't know. I mean, she lied.
Do you think that Pam Bondi would scam? Do you think that Scam Bondi would willingly let people slide who did something like that?
Okay, well, the only way I could answer that is to tell you her own words. She said about a week before Trump got that talking to by Mossad that we have
but
the list.
You're assuming that happened. Go
either them or the deep state. Somebody got to him. But she said, Scam did, that she saw the list and it was on her desk. A week or so later, it doesn't exist.
See, I don't agree with any of the facts of what you're presenting as facts, because you're saying somebody got to Trump. I don't know. I don't agree to that.
That part is speculation.
Right. And then you said that about the list. We've already been over this distinction. She was talking about the file was on her. What she claims that she meant, which is plausible in my mind. She meant the file. She didn't mean the list. So there's no list. There's a file. And in the file, there's maybe a list. Maybe there wasn't a list. Maybe it got destroyed. Or maybe she's lying.
A list. It's a flight log. We call it a list, but it's a flight log, and they exist. And if we could see the flight log, we'll know who the perverts were that went there, or the alleged perverts.
Because I think the idea of a list came. Well, I don't know. I don't care about this. But I heard that the idea of the list came about from his black book.
What's a flight log?
Not a flight log, but a black book of.
Well, whatever you want to call it, the flight log.
No. This is different from a flight log.
No, a flight log shows you who was there.
I know, but we're talking about the whole reason that you think there's a list, according to what I've heard, is not the flight logs, but the black book that his butler supposedly tried to sell.
Okay.
So there's all kinds of stuff. And I doubt that you've read all that there is out there to read.
All I need to know is that high-ranking government officials said there was a list, or whatever you want to call it, and Bondi said she saw the list.
But
and she said they're going to go over it and release it. A week later, it doesn't exist. Are you just going to be blind to that? Are you going to say this didn't happen?
Right.
The list doesn't exist?
I don't know. You're just assuming.
Well, that's what I mean. You're disinterested in this.
But it's not disinterest. It's lack of knowledge too. It's not just disinterest. It's total lack of knowledge about it.
No, we know what she said. We know there.
I don't know what she said.
No, there were accusers.
You don't even know what she said.
I saw it on TV. What she said.
Right, and you assume that that's what she meant, but so you want
to split hairs?
Did you see her explain something else?
Pardon?
Did you see her explain something else?
Well, only when she came out maybe a week after that and said there's no list, nothing here.
Did you see her explain what she meant?
Well, I think you told me about it.
Right.
You defended her.
I'm not defending her. I'm just explaining what she said.
Well, you mean after Trump may have gotten a talking to? Are you talking about after that? Or before he had his talking to?
But you're making up the talking
Trump
to
said
point.
It too. Hey, that's another thing.
Everything that you're saying is made up.
No, it's not. The Bondi interview's real.
I know,
And
you implied something that's not necessarily implied.
She said she saw it. The interviewer said what was on Fox News. Interviewer said, any surprises? And she said, well, I don't know what her words were, but basically she confirmed she had saw the list. Trump said before he was elected
Basically
president.
nothing.
Nothing what?
Basically nothing. Basically she said nothing.
No, if she said, no, that's not nothing. She said she saw the list.
Nope.
That's not nothing.
No, somebody else said list, and she said yes, but she meant
Okay.
file, according to her.
Okay.
Yeah, so
It's
you're
play on
saying a whole
words.
lot of nothing. You're hanging
no.
on to a woman's words, which is a huge mistake.
You're the one that's quoting her. You're the one that's defending her.
You're the one quoting her.
I think Pam Bondi should be gone. I think they should have had Matt Gaetz, but Matt Gaetz gave in too.
Yep.
Just like you. You guys are all afraid, man. I don't have nothing
You're
against
assigning fear to something where it's actually I don't know and I don't care.
it. Yeah, because you don't want to know.
I don't
You
care.
don't wanna know.
I don't want to know because I don't care, and it's not my business. And
Well, you're a news kind of guy. I mean, you talk about
it's
these
not news.
things.
This is olds.
Well, that's true, but the list is relatively new as far as being told to the public.
People have been talking about the Epstein list for years.
Okay, let's see it. What are you
Boring.
afraid of? Pardon?
Boring.
Well, to you, but how
Yeah.
come so many people are still talking about it?
Because they're
This
caught up. They're
isn't
caught
gonna
up in
die
their
away.
imaginations.
No.
Yeah,
We know
they hate Israel and they think Israel's involved. They don't even know that Israel's involved.
You love Israel and you want to protect their purpose.
I don't know I don't even know that Israel's involved.
Mossad, what's her name? Maxwell,
Right.
her father.
Yeah, it
Come
doesn't
on,
mean
there's
that
a
doesn't
connection
mean that
there.
Israel's involved. I don't know.
Mossad.
Right?
Dershowitz is the attorney for Epstein. You
Right.
don't believe me, but you can check it out. All these people are conspiring to protect perverts.
So
Whether
claim
they're
you
Jewish,
with zero
South.
evidence.
Oh, that's because you guys don't. I don't say you guys. That's because they won't put out the file, the airplane log, the list,
Blah,
whatever
blah,
you
blah,
want to
blah,
call
blah.
it, the defect. But it doesn't matter. We could get the goods on these guys, but there's no will to do it. And I would say after what Dan Bongino said when he was a talk show host, compared to what he's saying now, just look at it for yourself, man. If you
Bongino,
don't
I never
see a
trusted
contradiction-
Bongino. He just talks big.
Well, he's got power now. He's part of the FBI.
That's debatable.
No, wasn't he appointed?
Yeah.
Well, then he's in there.
Doesn't mean
What
that
I'm
he has
getting
power.
at, and please don't deflect. If you look at Bongino's talk before he was put into that position, he was.
Did you ever trust the big words of Bongino?
I thought he was a pretty straight guy. I liked
Yeah,
him. He
pretty
was-
straight, but when he makes big claims about something, or I don't know what he said, but I don't think of Bongino or Kash Patel or
Yeah, but they're
or Pam
influential.
Bondi as people that I really think of as normal, telling you the straight truth as they know it stuff. They speculate.
Well, I supported Patel.
And just like you're doing, just speculating,
No, I think what happened, and I don't see how you could
which is
any
speculation.
different. You should see what these men said before they were given positions of power. Talking about
Yeah, they
Patel,
talk.
Bongino. Okay, all they were saying is, look, we want to see the list. Is that asking too much? Okay, so then they get into power, and suddenly the list doesn't exist. If you don't see a contradiction there, you're willfully blind.
Okay.
And this is not an attack on you. I'm just saying if you don't see the obvious here, it's willful blindness. If you have no
So
sympathy,
Alex's point
wait a
is
minute,
that you
if
have
you
an
no
emotional.
sympathy
We
for
heard
the
you.
victims, that's evil.
What?
If you have no sympathy because of your love of Israel for the victims, that's demonic.
First, you
But
think
I'm
that
not
it's my
saying
love for Trump that I don't
demonic.
care about fake woman activism. Then you think that it's my love for Israel. And I told you I don't even know that Israel's involved.
Said you put Israel
I don't know
with the
that
US.
Trump is involved or cares about
Said that
it.
you put Israel with the U.S. First.
And now you're just making up stuff.
No, you
This
didn't
is
say that.
this is
last-
you are doing exactly what Alex in
No, no, no.
California was
You're not
criticizing
answering
you
the
for
question.
doing.
Let me just ask you, do you believe America and Israel, do you put both first?
I kid around about that.
You said it.
I kid around about it. Just because
Well, how do I
I said
know
it
when
doesn't. Just because I said it, do you not hear my disclaimers? Do you know that people say stuff and they're just talking or they're just joking around?
Yeah, but by that logic, you could come out and lie every day, and when someone calls you on it, well, the disclaimer says I can lie.
Right.
That's kind of what I'm hearing here.
If you want to put that on me like that,
No,
you can assign the worst intentions on me all you want. The point is Alex in California was saying that you are in your emotions and you're not catching your thoughts, and so you're saying stuff that's not true and you're making accusations that's not true.
You're saying Bongino, Patel, and Bondi didn't say they had a link.
No, you said that my love for Israel and Trump is why I'm smearing the victims. The so-called victims.
Right. By not?
I just told the truth about some victims.
What truth?
That one of them is crazy. The other one was saying we women are not going to let these men get away with this when they were willful participants.
Not if they were underage.
Then that's the truth.
You can't be a willful participant if you were underage.
Were you ever a kid doing wrong as a kid?
Not that kind of wrong.
Were you ever a kid doing wrong as a kid?
Oh, sure.
Were you willfully doing wrong as a kid?
Sure.
Then I rest my case.
No, that's not resting the case.
Yes,
the
it
law
is.
doesn't look at it that way.
So my point is you're
if you have sex
you're
with
in
a
your
17-year-old girl.
You are in your
You know her age or not, and the police find out, you're going to jail.
You're in your head making up stuff.
Statutory rape. Pardon? No, that's the law.
A man being part of being white is not getting into your accusatory nonsense. And what you just did on this show is accusatory nonsense. You accuse me of. You accuse me.
They won't release the evidence.
Do you want to listen for a moment?
Yeah.
You falsely accuse me of looking the other way because I'm afraid, because I love Israel, because I love Trump. All of those things are false. And you're accusing me because you're acting like a liberal and not like a sensible white man.
I hate liberals.
But you are a liberal.
So that's what was mostly
You're acting like a liberal.
on the
is the
island.
point.
Liberal. Those were the people.
So then
to what
stop
I've
acting
read.
like those people on the island.
I'm not a pedophile. I don't have any interest.
I know, but you're acting emotional like a pedophile.
I don't understand. There were victims here.
You're caught up.
Are you for victims?
Right, because
you
liberals are caught up with victim stuff.
Pardon me?
Liberals are caught up with victim stuff. They're emotional about victim stuff, and they justify accusing people of falsely, supposedly in the name of victims and in the name of America.
Why don't all these bad guys that were on the island show themselves? Why don't they come out and say, yeah, I was there, but I didn't do anything? Just come out and say it.
Why don't you check yourself on your accusatory nature?
Not accusatory. These people said it themselves.
Yeah, but you're accusing me.
I am in my imagination, but I feel that after the big man Trump, who I love, got the word, look, let this thing die, he informed not only Bongino and company, but Charlie Kirk, what's that other Indian guy? I forget, a few other top-notch conservatives to drop this, and they obliged. I was surprised Charlie Kirk did. And if you hear what Charlie Kirk says, well, I'll leave it up to the government to investigate. A man like Kirk to say that makes him a hypocrite. He always was against government. He never trusted the government, but he's going to trust them on this one.
Nice.
I'm just using Kirk. There was a couple others that were also on this case real hard until, 2 weeks ago when they dropped it all. So, it's just something to think about. Think about who you're defending. Think about the victims. Think about why Trump changed his mind on wanting to see who was at that island. You don't have to be a genius to figure this out.
Whatever.
Okay. Anyway, Hake, you got a great show, and I enjoy calling and listening in. Again, shout out to Alan and William III from California. Happy White History Month. And unless you have a question for me, God bless you.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye. Alex, I couldn't help him. I became liberal, I guess. Didn't you see the name of my show? Be liberal, be white, not liberal. The whole snake pit turned liberal. Look at the snake pit. Totally liberal. Women. Don't be liberal, be white. Caught up. It's a civilized white man thing. It's a Christian thing. It's a white on the inside thing. Not to get caught up. Lin Yan Chin is good at perceiving this type of stuff, actually, I think. You notice Lin Yan Chin catches people in their delusion and riding tangents, as he calls it. It's so true. As JLP said, as Alex in California said, catch every thought. What a mess. That's why there's zero. This is why to old Hayden in Texas, there is zero hope for America to return. America's gone. It's done. Because even the so-called America First people are nutcases. Exceptions to the rule. What a mess. Let me get to some super chats. I think, let's see. Nice. Over on buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report, there were several. Over on Streamlabs, there were 0. If we go down to Cesar Caesar, thank you, Cesar Caesar, about the pentagram. Carver says, hey, Hake, happy White History Month. Can you confirm that Mitchell, the world's strongest male, read the invitation wrong and thought he was being booked for Jordan Peterson's show, but appeared on JLP because he didn't want to look racist? Also, happy birthday, # disclaim, disavow, dislike. No, you're not supposed to dislike. Whatever. I'm pretty sure he knew he was coming on JLP. Mitchell Hooper, I believe is his name. Mitchell Hooper. Yeah, strongman. Nice name, huh? Thank you, Carver. And yes, happy birthday. Thank you kindly. Leo 3 Coffee's just watching James Hank of the Wake, Bake, and Hate report. He avows, claims Leo. Or Leo. Nice. No, I disavow, disclaim. Because that has to do with smoking pot, maybe. I disavow and disclaim drug references. But thank you, sir. Thank you for your 3 coffees. He's sacrificing some of his pot money for Hake. Thank you kindly. Hank Minia says Sion with 3 coffees. Thank you, Sion. Is that similar to Hankamania? Perhaps. English might be her second language. Is English your second language, Sion? Or third, or however many? Because she is African. Is she African or Africant? Africanot. Jermaine bought a coffee. Hey, Hake, happy White History Month. And he has a tip for me. Willie's Haviland Carrier. Without him, most of society... Look up Willie's Haviland Carrier. I'm afraid to look this up. Haviland Carrier. Without him, most of society would not have survived summer. Huh. I didn't know Joelle and I have the same day for the B day, said Jermaine. I was watching Get a Job last night. That's how I know. Nice. Let's look this up. Willis, not Willis necessarily. The father of air conditioning, Willis Haviland Carrier, 1876 to 1950. The father of air conditioning invented the first modern air conditioning system in 1902. Wow. Addressed humidity issues at a printing company. Laid the foundation for an industry that significantly improved living and working conditions globally. Eat that, flat earthers. Carrier also... Oh, not Willie's Haviland Carrier. I was thinking of some Carrier case. But no, it's not a Carrier case. It's his name, Carrier. Developed rational psychometric formulae, I don't know how to say it, in 1911, which became the standard for air conditioning calculations. Wow. 1902, first modern air conditioning system, AC, designed to control humidity and temperature, addressing a printing company's problems with paper dimensions and ink alignment. In 1911, I don't know how that works, but interesting. 1911, rational psychometric formulae, meaning formulas, right? If AE is plural, maybe, developed a mathematical method for calculating temperature and humidity, crucial for AC design. 1921, centrifugal, whatever, refrigeration machine, a safer, more efficient way to cool large spaces using a centrifugal compressor. It spins, a centrifuge spins, and it sends stuff to the outside of the, the walls of the cylinder usually, or whatever. 1915, Carrier Engineering Corporation, founded with other engineers, became a leading company in HVAC. Oh, well, heating and air conditioning and refrigeration, not necessarily ventilation, but maybe ventilation too. It doesn't say. At least not in this Google AI. Far-left extremists, don't use it, kids. Held numerous patents for air conditioning, blah, 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 blah. Enhanced comfort and productivity. Yep, I bet. Enabled growth in warm climates. Air conditioning allowed for development and commercialization of regions with hot and humid climates. Nice. Yeah, you go to Arizona. Who wants to live in Arizona? Oh, but they got AC. Necessary, I think. Found it. Over here, if you go inland, it gets hotter inland, right? That way. They're not required to have AC, but they are required to have heat. And actually, although the heat can feel sort of oppressive, the cold is actually more dangerous or whatever, more uncomfortable. Anyway, the point is, by law, landlords are supposed to provide heat, and then you got to pay for it, of course, I guess. But yeah, they don't have to provide air conditioning. Interesting. But my landlord at the place that I lived, inland, provided a window AC, which I ran a lot, and a space heater, I think. I used a space heater. I got my own space heater. What? Maybe he had another heater. I don't know. But he said that he has to provide heat, not AC. Interesting. Even though it's kind of known to be hot, but it's also gets kind of cold. It gets, into the under sub 40, which is plenty cold to be pretty cold in the house. FYI, whatever. Nice. Thank you for your white history contribution. In America, right? I think. Actually, I'm just assuming it's in America. Is there anything in here that says that it's not that it's like, let me find out. Willie Carrier, American engineer. Okay, nice. So, all you American engines and others who want to cry about colonization and genocide, yeah, but at least you get AC, those of you who survive to this day. So it's all worth it. So the living, you suffered a genocide and slavery. America was founded on it, that you may have AC. And oh, well, anyway, nice, whatever. So that's your coffees. Okay. Thank you kindly, Jermaine. You really sent me off on something there. One more. Oh, Lord. I think one more super chat came in just now. And I actually have other news to get to. Cesar or Caesar. Happy White History Month. Sup, Hake? 3 coffees. So since Joe is banned and Maze is MIA, missing in action, boycotting White History Month, perhaps? I will replace Joe with David from Texas as a favorite color of mine, and David in Ocala, Florida, will be my honorable mention. Big smile with nearly closed eyes because he's smiling so big, but not with teeth. I like how David from Ocala drags the word man. LOL, lots of laughs. And the lots of laughs is a hat tip to the late, great Colin Flaherty, an honest journalist who disclaimed and disavowed the white nationalists, but he did document black on white crime and other black crime, mob violence, in books, in videos, much maligned, many times banned, but a great Irish origin American man. Not in any particular order, but we now have both Davids. You know, David in Texas, David in Ocala, Florida, and Mark from Los Angeles, Robert from Kansas, Alan from Michigan, and Ronnie from Ohio. Also, Hake, we all have a pretty good idea on what you consider mildly attractive, Hake voice. But can you give us at least 2 examples of what you consider pretty / beautiful women? LOL, lots of laughs. I just noticed Christy Noam is actually pretty fine, he says with laughing and tears. What do you think, man? Christy Noam, I feel like I'm confusing her with, there's another pretty gal. But Christy Noam, she has, okay, I don't know. Oh, look at her playing softball or something. Cute. See, I disclaim sports women, but it's kind of fun if they look cute in an outfit. Husband is Brian Noam. Okay, buddy. Cesar or Caesar. Married in 1992. Okay, yeah. Oops. Didn't mean to go to him. I can. I'll have to think back about it. Because I don't want to get myself in trouble right now. Because mildly attractive can also be mildly repulsive and mildly attractive. No? Maybe not. Is it a I don't want to get caught up in it too much. But yeah, thank you for your request. I shall put it in my suggestion box to give you a couple of examples of. But I've said people are pretty. Gals obviously are pretty or beautiful. I just can't remember offhand who, but I will put in the suggestion box of requests which doubles as a spittoon, but I don't actually spit in it. To give you at least 2 examples of what you consider pretty/beautiful women. Well, even this day, actually, by the way, do catch American Anchor, baby. Even this day, I mentioned that a couple of women are beautiful, and they're older than me, so I won't get in trouble. They're gone, actually. They're dead. But in their younger days, they were indeed beautiful, and those are the gals whom William the Third, today's first caller before I got started, mentioned. Not so much Mamie Eisenhower. She's she has a familiar face. That's a nice smile. And she is Ike's wife. And then his widow, because he died before her. Before she. But that's cute. Right on. I like that. But actually, beautiful is, I wrote these down. Lana Turner. Look at that. It's, well, yeah, she's pretty. I would call her mildly attractive, honestly. 7 husbands, wow. So I don't feel that I'm like, it's not that I'm, okay, anyway. And Elizabeth Montgomery. Elizabeth Montgomery. The lipstick is a bit strong, but that's a pretty woman. Pretty, for sure. Good enough? Rest in peace. And these pictures may not do justice, but they're pretty. Mildly attractive. Huh. I don't know, it's whatever. Thank you, sir. I'm getting lost. Okay, so we have taken, yeah. Nice. Thank you, sir. Yeah, Nathan Bedford Forrest. They really, well, don't expect justice in the world. Okay? That's another reason I just shrug my shoulders about this whole, oh, Epstein, give me a break. Cry me a river. Those gals got money and they were miserable, and then one of them committed suicide, allegedly. And it wasn't over that necessarily. It was because she was a miserable runaway person with bad parents and all that stuff. Apparently bad parents. I don't know. Terrible. They are trying, it's funny, they are trying to tie Trump to Epstein. You notice that? They're trying to tie Trump to Epstein. Please. All in their heads. This was last week, late last week. Trump is going to sue the Wall Street Journal because they put out a thing where he supposedly wrote some letter to Epstein back when he turned 50, when Epstein turned 50, which was how long ago? And he said he personally warned Wall Street Journal's owner, Rupert Murdoch, who owns Fox News, I think, right? Isn't he that old guy who's like in his 90s? And its editor-in-chief, Emma Tucker, a woman, that the letter was fake, calling the story false, malicious, and defamatory. Let's see. Happy White History Month, Rupert Murdoch, Australian-American, retired business magnate and investor, 94 years old. Wow. So he doesn't care about the truth. Or does he? Does he care? I don't know. Is he Christian? I don't know if he has any pull or power. Sort of interesting. Epstein's ghost. Remember that? Wasn't that a username? And he directed Pam Bondi to unseal some Epstein material for you guys to satiate, to appease the mob, I guess. To satiate or whatever. I don't know. The people really want it. Boring. Okay. But there are people who are paying better attention to it than me, and they could tell you more about it. If you want to know about Epstein, Cernovich will tell you some stuff, and the other guy who's looked into stuff is, or who's kind of told me about those so-called victims, nutcases. The nutcases have popped out, and then I said yesterday, as you heard, Mark did not acknowledge. Oh, look at this. Hopefully it comes back. That maybe there are sensible and real actual victims who are actually victims who are not talking. The sensible ones, and they're no longer victims, by the way, because he's gone. And it's over. It's done. But those people... counseling at Bond, rebuildingtheman.com/counseling. 1-800-411-BOND, 1-800-411-2663 for the ones who actually want to get better instead of bitter. Because there's nutcases. One of them said, I'm going to the Russians. I want to take PDF Trump and PDF PDF supporter Hillary Clinton, because claiming Bill Clinton. I'm going to the Russians with information to stop them both from becoming president. Nutcase. Nutcases. Terrible. And I find it interesting that watch Drudge. Nobody goes on Drudge Report anymore, right? But all about Epstein, Ghislaine, Maxwell, and Trump. Trump in that. Terrible. Trump, one of the things that I really appreciate about Trump is he's a boomer. Trump is a boomer, and he is accusing, I wonder if this is still on Drudge. Let's see. Obama. Yeah. Let's see. MAGA clamors for arrests as Trump accuses Obama of treason. Oh, no. Far-left extremist HBO-aligned Axios. Who is that? Who's this guy? Is that the new Japanese guy? I don't know. Trump accused, let me see if I have this headline. Trump accused Obama of treason and sedition. And that is so boomer. Boomers who value America and Americanism, honesty, truth, justice, which Obama was not about those things. Oh, I forgot to ask your question to Mark, Baldman 54. What you would say to a proud black man. I'll have to ask them that another time. Trump accused Obama of treason and sedition. Isn't that such a Tea Party, boomer, truth-loving, justice-wanting person thing to do? I love it. I appreciate Trump for that. That's so nice. Okay, cool. I have the Anchor Baby set to go. Thank you, President Trump, a white history hero. All of his detractors are zeros. Let me get to Rick in Hampton, VA. Rick in Hampton, Virginia. How you doing, man?
Man, my brother James, what's going on with you, my brother?
Not much, just hanging out, having a fun, loosey-goosey Wednesday show.
Well, everybody gonna listen to the Hake report.
I know.
La la la. Yes, sir.
But
For
some
knowledge
of them,
and truth today,
some of
brother.
them don't listen closely. Hey, I think you have the show back going on in the background. Mute
Okay,
that.
hold on.
Some of them don't listen closely because they don't comprehend or understand or pause in their hyperventilating, accusatory nature. And I'm not just talking about Mark, but he's among them. Because they're caught up on what they're caught up in. They're caught up.
You know, people are just caught up in their emotions. And, you know, I can say especially most blacks, like for example, I call
it's
it
not just emotions that
yesterday.
they're caught up in. It's their thoughts and intellect and stuff. They get lost.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
They get lost in tangents. And what are tangents but stuff that takes you off the path? Like what William from California was talking about. Stay on the straight and narrow.
He was on the show today.
Yeah, stay on the straight and narrow. You get lost on a side note because somebody mentioned some side note, and you get lost on that side note and go way into outer space with stuff that's not even real. I just said space is fake. Terrible. Space is real. But they go off into their imaginations with stuff that's not even real. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, Rick.
No, you're fine. So, Brother Will, he was on your show today?
Yeah, William number 7 and William the 3rd. The OG William the 3rd and the Mexican-American adopted Californian William from Los Angeles, born in L.A.
I like hearing all our brothers call in.
Yeah, me too.
And, you know, but I don't know why, man. It's like the William brothers, man. I'd like to hear the OGs talk. You know, they always spitting out some good wisdom.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
That's
a
fair assessment, man. That's a very fair and it's very gracious of you.
You know, and I like hearing what Mark say. It's just like Mark be saying a lot of true things, and people take it wrong because anytime when you talk to somebody black, anytime you disagree with them, and especially if they liberal blacks, like I said, the worst thing that can happen to most blacks is liberal blacks, liberal whites, the NAACP, the Urban League, all those liberal organizations that keep blacks in a victim mindset, including most black pastor churches. Master Jesse was doing a show on. He had a white female pastor. She was over black congregation, and and James, she sounds so liberal, man. I like to say the only thing she'll do is make them do the victim Olympics.
Yeah.
So you know, and
it's so typical, isn't it?
And it's sad. It's just like I called in for the Nick show yesterday. We were talking about police. A kid got pulled over, and Nick showed on the show. And the media and all these organizations teach blacks that you can question the police. But if you have a wait to see attitude, the police going to tell you why they pulled you. They're going to tell you all the details you need to know if you have a wait to see attitude.
Yeah.
Because I do a correction, and ain't nothing worse than when you approach a prisoner or somebody pull you over. First thing they ask is, why you pull me over for? Well, if you give me a chance and get situated, I will tell you. But the media and all this foolishness has taught most blacks that they can question police and rebel. Let me see your supervisor.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And most time they pulled you over for a legit reason. I mean, I think the kid was driving in the rain with no lights. It was raining and he had no lights on. And that is an unsafe situation.
I don't know if it was raining at that point, but he claimed that it wasn't raining, but when it's dim or foggy or in those conditions, you're supposed to or something. I don't know.
Right.
But the point is, you don't argue about it.
Right.
But he was arguing about it. And then he was not even compliant. He was basically overall non-compliant. And then he put on a show of acting like he was the sensible person.
And I'm glad the sheriff came over there and said, hey, My video show that they ain't do nothing wrong.
Oh.
And you know how the media they gonna spin. Now, black sheriff came on there and said, according to the footage, my officers did right.
Interesting. Is that so? I don't know, man. I hadn't heard that. For those who don't
Nick had on the show yesterday.
We had JLP played a clip. Was that yesterday? Of I guess it was yesterday on the JLP show. This, and it's viral. Apparently, everybody's talking about it. This black guy with dreadlocks or something. Young man, looks like he could have some sense, but he acted like he's brainwashed into this I know my rights phoniness.
Yeah, and who always put that most blacks head? Public school system, liberal blacks, liberal whites, the NAACP put all that mess.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've been pulled over by the police plenty of times. And man, most of the time we wind up on the side of the road talking. Just talking about life.
Nice. Right on.
I mean, really, just cooperating. I got pulled up by a South Carolina state trooper when I was visiting my mom last year.
Wow.
And when cars are parked, when you see an emergency vehicle like a police, got somebody pulled over.
Yep.
If you're on a highway, if you're on the lane closer to him, you're supposed to slow down because that's telling the police officer that you care about his safety. But if you zoom by that, he's parked, he's going to pull you over. They call that failing to yield to an emergency vehicle.
That's right. Yep.
And 9 out of 10, when the police pull you over, you already know why he's pulling you over. They know. People know.
Oftentimes, yep.
And I knew when he pulled me over, I knew exactly why he pulled me over. But I gave him a chance to let he explain exactly why he pulled me. He said, so I'm pulling you over because you didn't yield to my vehicle, when you came by. I said, officer, yes, I'm very aware of that. I'm so sorry. He said, well, can I get your information? I just said, hey, officer, permission to retrieve my information. He said, go ahead. And gave him everything he needed. And he turned around and gave me a warning.
Yeah.
And man, did I appreciate that. Even if he would have gave me a ticket, I earned it.
Nice. That's true, man.
And it's that simple, easy. But like I said, people's emotions make it complicated because they in their emotions and their thoughts and get to hollering and screaming for nothing.
Right.
And as simple as that, it's just really easy. I mean, I'd be like, why is these? Sometimes I was getting to the point that a lot of these, I said, all these things are staged just to create a distraction.
No, they literally are that stubborn and angry and pretending like they think that they're right when they know they're wrong. Or maybe they've forgotten that they're wrong, but they know they're right. They're wrong. What a mess.
Wow, and it aggravates you, man, because it makes it hard for police officers out really trying to do their job, you know?
Yeah, totally. It's a mess. It's a huge mess. You know, these politicians are now trying to fund better security for themselves because everybody's trying to assassinate people now. Everybody's trying to assassinate everybody now. And so these politicians...
I know most of the liberal politicians that are being targeted, if you look at it.
Oh, I don't know. By other liberals,
from what
I'm not
I've
sure.
seen, I haven't seen, what's that, the one in Minnesota.
Yeah.
That was a Democrat. I think they had another one. And they were liberal, and that's what they've been trying to assassinate. It's wrong to assassinate anybody. Like, if you don't agree with somebody,
right?
Just, hey, don't argue with them.
Except for Soleimani. I think Trump might have been justified in assassinating Soleimani, that Iranian guy. It was more of an act of war because he was doing war against us because we were doing war against them. But he did some bad things to our guys, so we did some bad thing to him. But I don't think it was bad, necessarily, what Trump did to Soleimani. But other than that, no, you're not supposed to assassinate people. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you're angry, you're a murderer. You're a liberal.
Yeah. And I would have to say that because most times, you know how they say you can't discuss politics and religion? Yeah, that's what most liberals, you can't. Because they're already in their emotions. So when they see that, I go to church, And I love God. But how
Yeah.
you loving God if you voting for transgender, same-sex marriage, abortion on demand? You voting for all of that stuff that God don't like, and you say you're a Christian. And then when you question that, man, they get into a nuclear meltdown.
Yeah, totally. Rick, I got to run. It's good talking with you. Happy White History
Hey,
Month
good
to
talking with you too, James. Hey, happy White History Month to my white brothers and sisters out there, my Jeffite brothers.
you.
Y'all
Nice.
hold it down, man. Do what's right, and may God continue to prosper you all. Prosper us all in life.
Thanks again. All right.
No problem. Love y'all. Y'all be good. Talk to you later, James.
Cool. Karen in the Bronx. Is it the Bronx, New York, or is it Bronx, New York?
29.
Karen, are you there? Karen, you boomer. I think she's younger than me. Karen, are you there? Karen, is she trolling me? Karen, can you hear me? Maybe we were yapping so long, she just stopped paying attention. Well, happy White History Month to you, Karen. You're beautiful. I love you. And peace in the Middle East and in the Bronx or Bronx, New York. Is it the Ukraine or Ukraine? Is it the Bronx or is it Bronx? Thank you, Karen. I gotta run. You're making scratching sounds, but I love your voice. I love your accent. And what are you saying? Hello to me. And take care. I gave her I gave her a whole minute. Okay, bye. Nice. And in the last 90 seconds of the show, as predicted by Mina, Robert in Kansas is on the line over here. Robert, go ahead.
Hey, Earth is flat. Hey, what is that shirt you got on? Indiana Fever?
Yeah, Indiana
That's
Fever. It's my Caitlin Clark shirt.
Caitlin Clark, and they lost their last game to New York Liberty.
I don't keep up with that stuff.
Oh, so
I
you
don't
just
care
wear the
about that.
shirt.
I just wear the shirt because she's white history.
Can you stand up? Can you stand up and show me the shirt, Hey?
I did.
Can you do it?
Yep.
You did already? Oh, yeah, you did.
WNBA, round, whatever, woman playing basketball, but it looks mildly attractive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. Now, can you take it off?
I got to go, Robert. Nice talking with you. Happy White History Month.
Bro. Bounce them tits around.
You can't say that word. Well, I guess he just did. I disclaim Robert's calls. I might even disavow them. We give Jubilee to Robert, and what does he do? He spits in our face. The other day he called, and it seemed like, and I don't know, that he was drunk. That's not right. If there's one piece of advice that I can give, if you're drunk, if you're high, it's better to be, don't get drunk and high, but if you do get drunk or high, or you're excited, kids, or if you're hungry is a little bit different, but drunk, high, or excited, don't contact people necessarily. Excited, okay, maybe, but just, you got to be white and contain yourself. Because you end up doing stuff that's wrong or saying stuff that you get yourself wrapped up in something it's not right. Same thing with excited and all that stuff. Nobody wants to hear from you, really. And then it's just dumb. So, again, I don't know if he was drunk, but it just sounded like it. But he sounds much better today and yesterday, although he was still, I don't know about yesterday, but he was still a mess. But anyway, I got to get out of here. Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. If you're hungry, they say not to go shopping because you get more than you need. Bye, guys. Bye. All right, bye.